weight section, filled with sweaty, testosterone-filled men, all standing together in groups, hogging the equipment, grunting obnoxiously and flexing their muscles whilst taking mirror selfies, right? You know your first exercise, but there's about 10 guys standing around that machine. It's at this point that you become filled with anxiety, you turn around and you head the other way. When I was 14, I was as skinny as a beanpole, would never dare step foot into the free weight section of my local gym. Instead, I would choose to stay in the cardio section on the total other side, where I had my treadmill and exercise bike to keep me safe. Deep down, I knew that I wanted to get bigger and stronger. Needless to say, I was crippled with gym anxiety. I'm now 21. For around 6 months, I've been going to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. I've gotten over my anxiety at the gym quick, to the point that I now film myself. This is a video I wish I had when I was 14, which would have completely transformed my mindset and would have allowed me to go way earlier. People who go to the gym consistently tell me that it's changed their life, and the only thing they regret is that they didn't go sooner. I know these tips could change your life as they've done for mine. So I've broken down these 6 steps into 3 mental steps and then 3 action steps. Firstly, the mental steps. What do you need to do before you even step foot into the gym? How can you alleviate some of that anxiety before you even get there? Firstly, you have to know that no one is watching you and no one cares. It kind of sounds a bit savage when you put it like that, but it really is true. Everyone is there to work on themselves. The gym, for a lot of people, is their time to themselves. It's a place of no distractions. It's a place where they can put in their music or a podcast and they can kind of zone out from the world. They can escape their jobs, their work, their stresses. And the secret is, we can't really multitask. We can't watch other people and focus on our music and our workouts at the same time. Once you start going, you realize that you're not watching anyone else either. And when I say no one cares, I don't mean that the community isn't supportive. What I mean is, if you're there with your headphones on, zoned in into your workout, I feel like everyone at the gym has a basic level of mutual respect for each other. They know that they're also working out to try and better themselves. And so if you're zoned in, you're working out, they can see you're pushing yourself. They aren't gonna come and distract you, and they're not gonna be watching you. Number 2, everyone starts somewhere. It sounds cheesy, but the biggest guys, the people that you look up to on social media, they all started somewhere. Often it's actually the biggest guys who started off the smallest because they felt like they had some kind of thing to prove, and them being small drove them to take action on themselves. But even so, there's no secret that gaining muscle or losing weight at the gym isn't a quick fix. It isn't a magic solution. You can't just go once and expect to see results. You have to dedicate yourself consistently to the gym to be able to see any kind of progress. What I'm trying to say is that the people who are big, they know that it took them a long time. They know how much hard work that it takes. When they see someone beginning at the gym, starting off, they can see themselves in them. Me personally, I'm at the beginning of my journey. But if I see anyone that looks like they're struggling, they don't know how to use the equipment, I will offer a hand if they want it. Because everyone's been there when, you don't know how to use a machine, you get your phone out, you turn the brightness down, and you look at, oh, how do I use this machine? How do I set it up properly? I've only been going properly for 6 months, but when I see that, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for people who have just started going to the gym, because I know what a beautiful journey it's about to be. Like, nice one. Like, keep going. You got this. That leads me nicely onto my 3rd point, which is the community is great. The community is amazing. Everyone is pushing each other up. Everyone wants each other to push themselves harder, and everyone can relate to everyone in some respects, because everyone is there to try and improve, their health and their fitness. 99% of the people there are great. And I want to remind you that to the 1% of people that will judge you at the gym, that tells you way more about them than it does you. That shows their own insecurities more than it does yours. And it is inevitable in life. On the bus, on the train, people may judge you. There are people who judge people a lot. But I just like to remember that freedom comes from embracing who you are and not being scared about judgment from others. If you try and please everyone, then you end up pleasing no one. Just speaking from my own personal experience, I've never experienced any kind of explicit judgment at the gym, even when I was really skinny. So many times when I needed help, I managed to pluck up that tiny bit of courage that was left in me to ask for help on how to use a machine, and it put a smile on their face to help me. Okay, moving on to the action steps. Number 4, come prepared, but only with the basics. And what I mean by this is go on YouTube, go on Google, ask friends, and come up with a workout program that will hit the muscles that you want to hit. For example, you can do the classic push-pull legs. You can do an upper body, lower body split. There are so many different workout programs and splits out there on YouTube. At the start, pick one and stick to that. Don't go down the rabbit hole of watching tons and tons of videos trying to work out the best, most science-backed workout. Don't go down that whole rabbit hole, because you're never gonna find a magical, better than the rest workout. The risk of going down that rabbit hole is getting something known as analysis paralysis. Having too many options on the table and not knowing which one to pick, meaning that you never start. Alright, number 5 is buddy up. Go with one of your friends who's serious about this gym thing. They want to push themselves like you. In this way, you can push each other together, see the progress together. I think some of the best times are just joking around at the gym with your friends. When I say go with your friend, I don't mean you guys are constantly screaming at each other, telling them to do, 10 more push-ups. Going with a friend just to make it more fun. Just to make it that bit easier to go to the gym in the first place, because 99% of the battle is getting there. Once you're there, it's easy, but getting there is the hard bit. When it's cold in the winter right now, it's freezing outside, you're in bed, you don't want to move, that's when the buddy can really help you. Some of those mid-set conversations with your workout mate can really make your day. And lastly, number 6, the most guaranteed way to get over gym anxiety is to take action. And this is what I did. I took action and I just went. This is always going to work. Taking action is always going to work. But with the 5 tips beforehand, it would have made it so much easier from the start. You have to put in the reps. I cannot promise that the first time you step foot into the middle of a busy gym in the free weight section, everyone's grunting, everyone's got their gym face on, everyone's going for it, that you're not going to feel a bit uncomfortable. I cannot promise that. But the only way to increase the size of your comfort zone is by stepping outside of it. It's breaking free from that leash. The same way with form and technique at the gym. You can watch 1,000 videos, but that is never going to replicate actually going to the gym yourself and just, trying out the different movements. It's going to feel all wobbly. You're going to have imbalances. It's going to look weird. It's going to look off. It's going to look different to how you saw the fitness influencers, but that's okay. Muscle memory develops over time and you just build your confidence. When you know that you have good form and when you know you're doing something correctly, that fills you with so much confidence. When you feel like you belong at the gym and you feel like it's like a second home to you, that's when things really start kicking off and you can really start progressing. Being able to put on whatever your gym face is, being able to, it sounds weird, but make noises that you naturally would make when you're really pushing yourself. Being able to do those kind of things, not to an extreme extent, but to be able to release your energy when you're lifting is so freeing. I promise that by taking action, it'll be much less scary than you think. I hope I've inspired some of you and motivated people to overcome this fear. And for those who plan on really dedicating themselves to the gym as a New Year's resolution, you've got this. Bring on 2024.